Listen, I used to take it so personally when people would literally exit my life, right? And I didn't know how to transition people out or to even like guard my heart in the process. But once I realized that it's not a personal thing, right? Sometimes people need to exit your life so that God can make room for something else or somebody else, or you're growing and evolving and you're outgrowing people, or maybe they outgrew you, whatever the case may be. It's okay for people to transition out of your life. And once I really learned this, y'all, it was a major game changer and it really took my life to the next level. And so, listen, if you have struggled, right, with saying goodbye to people and transitioning people out of your life, then this video is for you. And make sure you all like, share, and subscribe, period. Let's get into it. Hey, so it's Coach Taylor J, and I'm super excited about today's conversation about people just coming and going. And this is a major lesson that I learned as a young adult, right? Because I got pregnant at 13. I was living this full blown adult life. I went to 13 different schools. I was in foster care, had a couple different jobs, and people were always in and out of my life, right? Like all the time. And because I went through so much and so many different transitions, one of the things that I really struggled with was releasing people because I always wanted people to just be a lifetime person for me, right? Because I was just tired of people coming and going, people coming into my life and I'm creating this bond and I love them and they love me, whether it was like a friend or a mentor or whatever. And then that season would just end, right? And so I dealt with that a lot. But once I mastered it and learned how to help people to navigate or learn how to navigate people in and out of my life, like life became so much easier for me. And one of the major lessons that I learned was that, don't spend too much time holding on to people, places, or things, or resisting the grief or, the release of people, because the longer you sit in it and you indecisive, the longer it's going to take for you to really like move on with your life, just to be honest. And I look at older people that I know or people that I kind of came up with, and I would see them in these long relationships because they were afraid to let go, whether it was friendships or romantic relationships or just at churches or at a job, and the season had literally expired. And so if you realize, like, once God has called a season to be up, whether it's with a person, place, or thing, the longer you hold on to it, the worse things get, right? Like I remember being at a job one time and I knew my season was up at this job, but I stayed because I had this level of loyalty, right? And I was committed to it. And I'm not a person that want to bounce from place to place because I had done that my whole life at this point, right? But things began getting so bad. I was frustrated, burned out. It was literally like no glory on it. But there was no benefit. I was going home stressed out every day. I wasn't passionate about it. And it ended badly, right? Because I let it get to that point because I wasn't mature enough or bold enough to just make the decision like, hey, it's time for me to get up out of here, right? And so don't sit in it too long. That's like one of the major lessons that I learned. I learned how to grieve and get through it quickly, right? Decide quickly, and in order to do that, you really got to know what you're going after. You got to know your goals. You got to be secure in what God told you about your future. And once you secure, like it's easier for you to really make some major decisions like that in your life. And it don't be no hard feelings, right? You just moving on, period. The second thing, people really do be either seasonal, a lesson, or for a lifetime. And once I would hear this all the time, right? On movies, from older people, whatever. And I would hear this all the time, and it sounded like a cute little cliche, cute little quote or whatever that people were saying to sound deep. But it's true. Like I really learned that. Some people really do come in and they only in my life for a season, right? I'm supposed to get something out of it. They're supposed to help me to evolve to this level, and I would treat them people like lifetime people, or they only here for a lesson. You know what I'm saying? And once that lesson has been learned, that's it. Or I can't really learn the lesson because I won't release this person. I haven't taken it all in. And so it really takes some major like reflecting and maturity to say, listen, let me determine if this person is either here for a lesson, for a season, or for a lifetime. And when this person first comes into your life, or this opportunity, you don't always know, right? Like you want this person to be around for a long time, but time will tell. And it's up to you to really evaluate, right? And reflect and kind of like see where the relationship is going, whether it's a friend, whether it's a pastor, a mentor, a romantic partner, whoever it is, right? Like you have to a job, a church, you have to reevaluate that. Like, okay, what am I getting out of this season? And it's okay to move forward to say, hey, this ain't working. Or, sometimes things just silently fall off, right? It just fades away. And you have to let it. Stop trying to force stuff, right? And so, like, really take out time often to like reevaluate your relationships and the programs that you're a part of and the churches that you at. Like, hey, am I still, growing here? Is this still this relationship? Are we benefiting one another? Does this align with my purpose, my goals, what I'm trying to do in life? Really think about that and decide. And it's okay. And you have to know that you may make a mistake. Sometimes we make mistakes. We think that people here is supposed to be here for seasonal and we cut them off. We don't do right by them and they was really a lifetime person. But you got to have some maturity about yourself, right? And be able to like transition in a way that's still honorable, right? It don't have to be tragic, so that if this person needs to come back or you need to go back to this person, you can. Period. The third thing that I learned, not every exit is personal, right? Sometimes like you just grow or you're doing different things, right? I remember just kind of growing up and because I did so many things and I was just very bold and very out there and willing to take a risk and try new things, I would always find myself in different atmospheres, different environments, different people, gaining new friendships, new relationships, new opportunities. And as a result of my rapid boldness, rapid growth, I would transition through relationships rapidly. And for a moment, I'm like, whoa, is this me? Like, is something wrong with me? Like, I keep losing people. But I realized because I was growing so fast, I was like going from level to level to level, right? And with that, you'll enter onto a level, right? You'll start doing a new thing. You'll, meet somebody, get a mentor, whatever, and things are going great, right? But then you may outgrow that level. You may outgrow that place, right? You may outgrow that thing, and you'll realize, like, man, this person can't go with me because they're not growing. Like they're still on this level. They still have growing to do, or they're still committed to what it is that they're doing. But it's time for me to take my life to the next level or to do something different, right? And it just so happens that this person is not coming with you, right? So it's not personal, it's really purpose. And that's just what it is. And so, you don't have to have a fallout, you just transition. But again, it takes maturity, it takes you reflecting and really evaluating like where you are, where this person is, and not feeling like, man, they acting funny or I'm acting funny. It's just, we just growing. We on two different paths, right? So really just be mature about it because the truth of the matter is we all fall short of the glory, right? And sometimes people do things that we don't like. It doesn't meet our standard, and you have to again take time to be mature and really think about it. Like, was this a mistake that they made, or is this something, or is this just who they are, right? And do I need to really release them because I can't have somebody like this in my life? Like really take our time to think about that and be okay with the separation. I think that our hearts get into it and we don't want to feel heartbreak. Heartbreak sucks. I absolutely hate a heartbreak. I went through plenty of them and I didn't like it, and it prevented me from really opening up to people that God was sending into my life, right? And so really like set the standard of your life, set your expectations, be clear on what it is that you need. If even if you can't think past 10 years, what do I need now in this next 2 years, right? As I'm going to school, as I'm working this job, as I'm parenting, like think about what it is that you truly need. Who do you need in your life? What kind of people do you need around you? And just evaluate, be mature about it, be grown about it, make some decisions and stand on business. And heartbreak does not feel good. Releasing people never feels good. It never gets any easier. I wish that I could say that it does, and I may look confident in it and I'm talking about it, but I handle it differently. I know how to manage my emotions, right? And I know how to manage a heartbreak, and I know how to move on and still get things done and not be consumed by the heartbreak, be consumed by, the disappointment, and keep moving on with my life. One thing that I'm sure about is that it definitely gets easier because there are even people from my past that I loved and I adored. And we had to transition, apart, whether it was romantic relationships, leaders, best friends, whatever. And I still very much, I think about those people all the time to this day, right? And I wonder how they're doing. And even sometimes when I'm experiencing major successes or things that I may have shared with them, things that I want to do and I'm doing them now, I think like, man, if only I can pick up the phone and call them, right? But and it's not pride that I won't call them. It's that it's just over. It's done. Some people you can't allow back in your life, right? Because of who they are, because of who you are. You know what I'm saying? And then time will tell because sometimes people come back around, right? Sometimes it may be 10 years from now, and you may reconnect with someone from your past, and it's absolutely amazing. And it's like y'all are in perfect alignment, right? So really take out time to just think about who it is that you need in this season of your life. You can't do anything about the past, right? You can't go back and fix it. But think about who you need in this season of your life, and don't try to think about for a lifetime. Just think about like the next 2 years of your life. Who do I need to be successful? Who do I need, who do I want to pour into? Who do I want to pour into me? Who's also in school like me? Who's also a mother like me and trying to do this mother thing? And we can like, get together and just iron sharpens iron or make each other better, right? Like really think about that, decide. And if there's anybody in your life that's stirring up hell, chaos, drama, bringing you down, causing a lot of heartache and confusion, that's not of God. So release them people, grieve it, and move on. And this is a sidebar. Sis, stop forgiving that man and you never forgive your friend. That's like crazy to me. That's something that I really learned growing up. I would get into it with friends or whatever, and or even I would see other girls getting into it with other girls, but I'm looking like, but sis, you stay forgiving this man. He stay cheating on you, right? He don't treat you right. But you always forgive him, but you never forgive your friend, right? Like, let's do better, okay? And so anyway, I hope that this helps. I really dropped these videos because when I was growing up, I wish I had somebody to just give me the tea. I had amazing people in my life, but sometime at night when you struggling and you looking for an answer, or you at work and you going through and it's hard for you to work because listen, them breakups when you have to work be the worst. And so sometimes I would listen to different podcasts and things like that just to get an answer, right? Just to get some confirmation, to get some strategy, some insight. And so that's why I create these videos. And so I hope that this helps you. And if you have anything that got questions about or you need a lesson on, definitely drop it in the comment section and I'm gonna see if I can cover it. Period.